Welcome back to the Rough Example Datsun 510 project. I'm Cameron. Um, okay, so today I am going to be showing you guys what I'm working on with the wiring. Um, I am pretty close to having the body harness finished up. There's just a couple of little things that are kicking my butt. They can't figure out, but it's getting really close. Like, I've got my radio wired in over here, and I finished up all my wiring for the tail lights. Yeah, basically everything that runs through here into the rear section of the car. Um, and then I have been working on getting this instrument cluster wired up. The way this thing works is it has this, I think it's a 12 pin connector that just plugs in onto these pins, and then you can kind of trace the circuits on the back to see where they go. But that guy just goes in there, and I'd say about half of this stuff is lighting, and then there's a few signals that come in for like your parking brake, alternator, oil pressure switch, temp signal, fuel. So anyway, I'm working on wiring this up, but I'm kind of just hitting pause for a minute because since I'm doing a micro squirt ECU on this, a lot of these are going to have digital signals coming out from the ECU, and I'm trying to figure out if I should run wire to the analog sensor as well. Just figuring out how to juggle all of that. So that's why this is just kind of left untouched. But the other thing that's just killing me is I cannot figure out. So these are the two lights for the turn signals. Have the car turned off right now, but if you hit the turn signal stalk, one of these will flash, and then the other one will flash. They just go right there in the dash. For some reason, when I flip my high beam on, it's sending a little bit of power to one of these. It's not super bright, but it is illuminating. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that. I'm guessing it's some kind of a weird ground situation, but that thing is just driving me crazy. And then the other thing that's been a little challenging is this switch right here has broken off. It's just super old and brittle. It's almost made out of like cardboard type stuff, and that's for the high beams. So when you flip it forward, it grounds this piece to the chassis and sends the signal to the relay. But this thing is broken off, so I got to figure out if I can epoxy this thing back in, or how I'm going to figure that out. And then this mess right here is all for the hazard switch and the turn signals. I think this has been the hardest part of the wiring thus far, just trying to figure out how to work all this stuff. But anyway, that's about it for the body harness right now. So the next step that I'm working on is my air ride. I actually got that all situated this week. I had to build this custom piece here out of masonite because the car didn't come with one, and obviously I had to cut it out to accommodate the air tank because the air tank just sticks up a couple inches too high. But I just cut this out of masonite. I made a template out of cardboard, put it on here, cut it out with a jigsaw, and then painted it black. So that'll go in there. And here is my air ride bracket that my brother helped cut out on his CNC plasma cutter. I think it turned out pretty slick. I kind of scratched it up a little bit. This was like a mirror polish, but just kind of had, you got to do what you got to do. So basically, how it works is in you can kind of see this hole right here. That is where the spare tire clamp would go, like the big butterfly bolt kind of thing that goes into there. So this thing, it's just a U-shaped plate that clamps it down onto the chassis. So I mean, this thing is completely locked in, and you know that'll keep it from bouncing around while you're driving. And then, so the compressor feeds into the tank. The tank goes through here into a water trap that just keeps the moisture out, and then that loops back into this airlift manifold where it's sent out through these 4 lines out to each corner. So yeah, happy to have that in and running. I also got my tail lights all wrapped up and got this harness polished off. I kind of had to redo the whole rear harness on the car because I had missed I think it was the 3rd brake light wire that I had to run. So unfortunately, I had to cut the like Chinese finger trap loom off of there and just rewrap the whole thing with the Tessa tape. But I don't think it looks too bad. So the other things back here, I got my sensor sender for the fuel level here. That set up, and then over the coming weeks, I'm gonna try and get my fuel system all dialed in. I'm just trying to decide if I want to switch over to a AN setup with PTFE lines, or if I want to stick with the metal lines that the car came with. Another thing that I'm trying to figure out on this rear section is this guy. It's kind of like a little parcel shelf cover kind of thing, and this is the one that the car came with. It's obviously just destroyed, but this piece of plastic here kind of just slips in over the fuel tank and hooks onto this tab here. So this thing will just kind of go up in there like that. And yeah, you can see there's a hole right there where it screwed onto the chassis. But yeah, I mean, this thing is just totally blown out. So I think I'm going to try and drill out the rivets on it and see if I can't salvage the plastic piece and cut out a new masonite front for it. And okay, so the biggest thing that I'm working on now is getting the engine harness wired up. So what I've got here is the micro squirt ECU. It has a list of what each wire does on here, and I was able to print off a corresponding list that has all of the details about what each wire goes to. And so instead of just running this into the engine bay and going wild, I decided that I want to build a practice harness out of rope. I saw this on one of the HP Academy videos, and they were suggesting that that's a good way to go for just figuring out all of the wire lengths and everything, so that you've got kind of like a mock-up. So it looks like complete chaos right now, but basically this is what my harness is going to look like. I just followed the micro squirt wiring diagram and attached to each one of these sensors, and kind of just ran everything back into what will be the harness, and then this would pass through the firewall over here. So once I am feeling good about this, I can measure, take measurements on here and cut all these wires to fit and start building that harness. I'm pretty close to being done with this, but there's a few wires that I don't know exactly where they go yet. I think they probably go over here to the distributor and to the coil, but the rest of it is pretty darn close. So I'll probably just drill a hole right in here somewhere and then run all of those wires through. And I also need to depin this and pull out any wires that I don't need. So this thing, I'm probably gonna screw this up, but this thing pulls out and you can get the pins out of there with like a teeny little screwdriver. But that'll just eliminate any wires that I don't need. And then one of the other things I need to wire into this harness that I haven't done yet is the wideband oxygen sensor. So this one actually has the controller in here. If you do like an AEM or some of the other brands, they usually have like a separate box that does all the controls, and then it has an output for your gauge. But I just need to figure out how to wire this all up and get that merged into here. And then another thing that I did this week is I've been tracking down all the connectors for this harness. So, I mean, this is not terminated, so all of these need to go into a connector. And I didn't want to cut up my stock harness because if for some reason this ITB setup doesn't work out and I need to go back to a just normal KA24 intake, I wanted to have that harness that I can fall back on. So I actually had like 3 extra harnesses that the previous owner gave me when I bought this car. So I went through those harnesses and found every connector that I would need. So like there's the coolant temp, this one goes onto the distributor. And then over here, I mean, these are the CBR 1000 throttle bodies. So I had to track down these clips here, which I didn't have. And turns out that they, it's from a Honda. They're pretty easy to find. I guess they use the same clip on their cars, motorcycles, all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah, I've got a clip on order that will go to the map sensor here. So, that just took a little bit of homework. Google Glass really helped out, just taking pictures of the receptacles and figuring out what size, what kind of connector would fit the receptacle. But I was able to find them. I had to order all of those connectors for the fuel injectors. Just for anybody who's interested, they're called Denso Mini connectors. So you got to order some of those for your injectors to run them. And then I'm also just trying to figure out how I'm going to work the fuel system going into this rig. The fuel rail, you can see it has a post here and another one down here. So I'm guessing that one of these is going to be for the fuel in, and then one of them would be fuel out to the for the return line. So that's what this one would do. It'll go down to the fuel pressure regulator and then back to the tank. But I don't know what this type of connector is called. I'm just probably going to have to clamp a hose on there and hope it holds, unless somebody knows what these are, and maybe I could somehow adapt an AN fitting onto that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at this week. Definitely got a long ways to go on it, but at the same time, some of this is going pretty fast. Like I was able to build this rope harness in about an hour. Um, so yeah, I feel like I'm making good progress on it, and hopefully we'll have this thing up and running pretty soon. So thanks for tuning in and checking this out. I appreciate your support. If you have any questions or comments, leave them on there and I'll try my best to answer. And thanks again. Have a great day.